Hey guys, Doug Rucker here, Doug Rucker School and DougRuckerStore.com, DougRuckerSchool.com, DougRuckerStore.com. Hey, I had a question. I've had a couple of questions in the last couple of weeks, and then in fact a guy named PJ just left a question on here on YouTube about a portable unit, 4 gallon per minute unit. How much hose should he invest in? So I thought I'd talk about hoses for particularly the little portable units that guys start out with. So I'm going to talk about the hoses and how much you should have next. Okay guys, when you're talking about these portable machines like 4 gallon per minute, 3 gallon per minute. I see a lot of guys buying DeWalt brands. They're buying Simpsons, all kinds of different brands out there. And I'm not derogatory any brand, whatever you can afford to get started with. I guess that's what you got to do. But the important thing is determining whether you're getting a belt drive. Belt drive is always going to be best. It's just going to be more reliable for commercial use. You can also hook it to a buffer tank, and it's going to draw water if you need to. Some of the direct drives will draw water from a tank, some of them won't. I had a direct drive one time that when I wanted it to draw, I'd have to actually start it up and get it going through the pump first, turn it off, hook up a hose, get it going through 50 foot of hose, turn it off, hook up another 50 foot of hose, get it going. And so that's just some of the things sometimes with certain direct drives that you have to do. Now that was many years ago, and nowadays direct drives are made a lot better and a lot of improvements, so you may have better luck doing that. But the question most often asked to me is how many feet of hose should I invest in, how many feet of hose that I should have. And if you've got a portable unit, there's really, to me, no need to have more than 100 foot of hose on your machine at one time. You're going to downstream butter with 100 foot of hose. It's just going to be easier to manage. If you set your machine up properly to where you stretch your hose all the way out to the furthest point, and then you've got your machine midway here, and then you can go 100 feet past that machine. That gives you almost 200 feet of cleaning area with 100 feet of hose. I understand sometimes on larger hoses you may want to add an additional 50 foot hose, but the 100 foot hose should be just fine. I also recommend a good one wire hose because they're just a lot easier to manage. They're a lot less in weight, easier to carry around the property. 2-wire hoses get kind of heavy. We use nothing but 1 wire on all of our 8 gallon, 9 gallon, 5 gallon per minute machines, even the 4 gallon per minute machine. So I've just never found a 2-wire hose to last that much longer to justify the increased cost. I would rather replace the hose a little bit sooner, but be more comfortable and dragging less weight hose around a property. So 100 foot hose on a 4 gallon per minute machine, even a 5 gallon per minute machine if it's portable, but the main thing is if it's portable, I just don't see any need to have more than 100 foot of hose on the machine, but have a spare 50 footer just in case you need it. You just never know on larger houses, or a house is set back from the driveway and you've got your machine in your truck. You may need a little bit of extra hose. Now, the one thing that you have to do also is figure out how you're going to hook it up. There's a couple different ways. You can set them up with your quick connects so that you just connect your 50 foot hose to your 100 foot hose and can hook up that way. Another way is there is a coupler that we sell, a 3/8 coupler. So you could put the coupler on one hose like that and then put it on the other hose here. Okay, and then you don't have the big bulky quick connect and plug. But this is really only useful if you're going to be rolling this hose up on a hose reel. our Mad Max machines we sell, where there's an option you can get a hose reel right on the machine, makes it very convenient, so that when you roll that machine off the truck, your hose reel is right there. You just take it back to the spot where you're going to set up, and then from there roll your hose out, and you can roll it back up when you need to move the machine or load it back up or whatever. So if you're putting it on a hose reel, then my suggestion is to use a coupler like this, so that it rolls up and it stays semi nice and flat on the hose reel and doesn't bulk up. Because if you have a coupler like this and a plug like this on the other end, when you go to roll that up the reel, you're going to get, it's going to bind and be like that, and it's not going to be, it's going to take up space, and you sometimes can't get all your hose wound up. So if you're going to roll all 150 foot up, use a coupler. If you're just going to add the 50 footer an occasion when you need it, then by all means just have it set to where you can just hook it with your plug and your socket. The other thing I do on all my hoses, these are called bend restrictors. To me, they are a huge pain in the neck. I cut them off. I know what they're for. I know what they can help, but my problem with them is they get stuck up here in this area and don't move, and water gets down in there and sits. It won't dry out, and it causes all of this to start rusting out sooner than you wanted. And so what happens is, when you go to finally take this down, you'll see that this is all rusted. These hoses, one end always has a swivel on it. See this end? It turns. Okay, so if this gets all rusted out, it's not going to turn like it's supposed to, and just defeats the purpose of having it there. So my opinion, not everybody's opinion, I remove these. I just cut them off. They're a pain in the neck to me. But that's why I wanted to go over with you today. If you've got a portable machine like that, I would have at least 100 foot of hose. This is a 100 foot section, one wire. You can do it with 250 footers if you want. Again, as long as it's not on a hose reel, just quick connect your hoses. If you're putting it on a hose reel, then you're going to want to use a coupler like this, so you can save as much space on that hose reel as you possibly can. Hey, hope this has been helpful to you. If I can help you in any way, leave a comment, subscribe, hit that like button for me, and if you subscribe, you'll get notifications every time I come out with a video. Y'all take care and have an awesome day. And PJ, thanks for the question. Talk to y'all soon.